Hello and welcome to yet another episode with me, Miss Envy, where we ask the uncomfortable questions and hash out all the possible answers. That's right, it's that time.
He authorized Sidney Gottlieb to spray germs into the fog in San Francisco harbor. The point was to try to infect 800,000 people in San Francisco with this germ just to see how many would get sick. And they thought that the germ would sit heavily in the fog and would linger in the air longer that way to infect more people. Now remember, nobody knew that this was happening. And I don't mean just nobody in San Francisco. I mean nobody. The CIA director didn't know it was happening. The president didn't know it was happening. This was Alan Dulles and Dr. Sidney Gottlieb. So what happened? They spray this poison into the air, and 11 people got identical urinary tract infections within the next 3 days. Now, we know that these were specific to the germ because these urinary tract infections included bleeding, but with blood that had crystals in it. Doctors were so taken aback by the fact that this wasn't just a urinary tract infection, but these people were discharging crystals from their bodies that they actually got together in doctors' groups and talked about it. That what in the world is this? Is this some kind of a new disease? And then like magic, it just went away. And it went away because it was just a CIA experiment. In 1951, Alan Dulles becomes the director of the CIA, just like he planned to.
Does this make you feel like it's something out of a horror movie? Or like every intro to the Twilight Zone?
The ban was just a publicity stunt for Trump. Or was it actually an IT update to merge with Meta? Rumors are going around that Meta bought TikTok, or at least that they've gotten signals from the Trump administration that a merger could be on the table, with people pointing out that Facebook just created a TikTok account one day before the ban. Convenient timing, except others insist that Facebook's had that account since 2022. Then there's this guy, Shou Chu, TikTok's CEO, who people claim removed the CEO part from his bio, but others say that he never had it in the first place. IT people are even coming out, saying that the whole ban had all the characteristics of a data migration, potentially migrating the TikTok servers over to Meta's. According to them, data migrations typically take around 12 hours and usually happen on weekends, which is, you know, kind of what happened. A lot of users even claiming their For You page just ain't the same anymore, and that maybe Meta's algorithm is now in place, which we all know just doesn't hit like TikTok's. And the videos themselves are just extremely grainy and low resolution. How's this one doing? But overall, this whole Meta merger is sounding very extremely rumory to me. I don't buy it. But it would be pretty crazy if Zuck owned this app now as well, which despite his recent stance on toning down his obviously biased fact checkers and just relaxing censorship on his platforms in general, which I highly support, I just don't think one company having a monopoly on pretty much every social media platform in use is a good idea. There's also the chance this was all just a publicity stunt for TikTok to get the community to rally behind their cause, or even for Trump to come out as the hero who saved TikTok. Personally, I think this whole thing was just a giant game of chicken between TikTok and the US government, with both of them doubling down on their stances towards banning the app as Jan 19th drew closer, at which point TikTok called them out on their bluff and banned the app for all Americans, just for the US to pull back last second and be like, whoa, you didn't think we were actually going to enforce this ban, did you? Ooh, we sure got you there, huh? And the whole ban was reversed in like 12 hours, which for the record, I totally called it, but you know, whatever, it's no big deal. In the end, it looks like TikTok won for now.
Right, so what's your bet? I reckon it's just one big publicity stunt. Come on, what's your bet? Facebook bought them over.
Breaking news, we're finally going to find out. This is a really big deal. Make sure you're following, by the way. President Trump, a little while ago, signed an executive order that's going to let us know everything about 3 major assassinations. Let's check it out.
Please, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed.
Wow.
Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Doesn't really matter which side of the aisle you're on. You have to want to know what happened to these people. JFK, RFK, and MLK. We're going to find out exactly, and he says everything. We're going to release everything. Going to find out exactly what happened with those three.
After 1 week of mouthwash, we can increase systolic blood pressure by 26 millimeters of mercury.
Basically, you're saying if mothers are giving their kids mouthwash, they are subjecting them to hypertension.
If you gave people mouthwash, these are people who had normal blood pressure, and the only intervention was we gave them mouthwash to completely destroy the microbiome, and then we saw an increase in blood pressure.
You're joking.
So we would take a normal, healthy 21-year-old kid and giving them mouthwash twice a day for 7 days, we made them clinically hypertensive.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
this completely changes the world of cardiology and management of blood pressure. And 2 out of 3 Americans in the U.S. have an unsafe increase in blood pressure. And not coincidentally, 2 out of 3 Americans are waking up every morning to use mouthwash.
And it's funny because the US medical system will just prescribe you an ACE inhibitor
To deal with that. So cause a problem and then offer to fix the problem with something that causes more problems. Guys, just stay away from mouthwash. It's okay. Stinky breaths are healthy breaths. No, I'm joking. Just brush your teeth. Oh, actually, to be quite honest, before I just move on to the next video, I actually came across a lady's video. I'll try and find it and post it later on. She gave an excellent tip for good breath. It's very simple. You've already got it. What you need, you've already got it. Step 1, brush your teeth. Okay, put toothpaste on your toothbrush and, like normal. And then clean the toothbrush under the water like you normally do. Put fresh toothpaste on. Put it on the back of your tongue and brush. I know it's brushing my tongue. I gag. I've got a very sensitive gag reflex, so this is a tough one for me, but it works like a charm. Brush the back of your tongue and rinse. Do not do it without fresh toothpaste on. So 2-step process. Both need toothpaste. Works like a charm.
Some pretty massive news happening in South Africa right now. President Cyril Ramaphosa has just signed land expropriation without compensation into law. However, the South African government are insisting that this doesn't mean that they can just start seizing everyone's farms as they wish. In their official statement, they said an expropriating authority may not seize land unless it is for a specific public purpose or in the public interest. So they can only do this under very specific circumstances. For example, they say this may apply in a case to promote inclusivity or to increase access to natural resources. In other words, they say land may only be seized if there is a valid reason for it which will benefit the public. However, it remains to be seen how this will actually be implemented and if they will do so constitutionally. Basically, their statement is very vague and nobody knows how this is actually going to play out. This is causing a lot of upset amongst many South Africans. What are your thoughts?
Now, my thoughts are, this is a distraction. Because this normally happens when something else really big is happening. Makes us look that way when we should be looking this way. This land compensation expropriation, I forget the wording, has been going on since the last 20 years easily. Guys, you can correct me in the comments. It's been going on a long time, and it normally rears its head when they need us to focus on something else. Also, please note, Ramaphosa met with Klaus Schwab the other day. And if you watch the video, I'll try and find it. It sounds like Ramaphosa wasn't actually planning to meet with Klaus. It sounded like it was organized under duress. And suddenly this pops up? Yeah.
Imagine being the country that's the originator of Amapiano. And all the talented dancers that we have that have come up with the moves inspired by Amapiano and that have created all the dance challenges inspired by the dance moves and the sound of Amapiano. And it takes the world by storm where dancers from all over the world are doing those dance challenges. Dancers from all over the world are adopting those moves and including it in their choreography, especially those who have access to the TikTok Creator Fund. And they making money off something that we started, and our creators can't even make money off of that. Isn't that unfair? This is why we are calling on TikTok to make South Africa also have access to that creator fund. Millions of American creators are making money off of TikTok and the creator fund that contributed 24 billion US dollars. All right. Now, if you look at 170 million users in America on TikTok versus maybe only 17 million here in South Africa, that's like a tenth, right? So what if we were making a tenth of that 24 billion? That's 2.4 billion US dollars contributed to the South African GDP. You multiply that by 19, it's 18 or 19, but let's say if you do it by 20 to make it simple maths, right? Imagine those billions of rands that is circulating through the South African GDP, how much better our economy would be. Even if the South African government has to tax that, if you try and make money overseas, you're going to get taxed as well. So all we're asking for is a piece of the pie. Seeing as though we're coming up with the content here in South Africa that other people are taking advantage of, why can't we see some of that bag?
For those of you wondering what Amapiano is, it is a genre of South African music that blends elements of deep house, jazz, and traditional African sounds. It's known for its laid-back yet groovy beats, catchy piano melodies, and heavy bass lines. It's become a global phenomenon, especially in dance clubs and on streaming platforms. Sir, never seen you before. This was sent to me, thanks Elaine. Completely agree with you. It's time South Africa gets compensated.
You guys want to hear my theory? If it's true, this video needs to be watched from start to finish. It needs to be shared, it needs to be liked, and it needs to be commented on, because if my theory is correct, it needs that. It needs those statistics to push it so that other people see it. My theory, it's just a theory, is that some deal has been worked out so that TikTok will eventually agree to sell, but under a new algorithm. And that was the point of the ban, the 16-hour ban, or however long the ban was TikTok changing its algorithm. That is what's valuable. And that's what ByteDance does not want to sell. You can create a platform that is the exact same as TikTok, but the value behind it is the algorithm. And that's what changed in the middle of the night. And if it did change, that's why I was saying earlier, like, you need to watch this from start to finish. You need to like it. You need to share it so that it can be like shoved down the algorithm's throat. The next part of my theory is that TikTok is going to be given a 90-day extension to find a buyer and, to agree to sell. And it's going to sell. To who? I don't know. Could be Meta. It could be Mr. Beast and his group of billionaires. And it could be Kevin O'Leary if he's in that group. I don't know. But it's going to sell. And it's never going to be the same under this new algorithm. It's going to be what the government wants it to be, and it's going to be Americanized, and they're going to be able to control the narrative. I'll finish this video saying this. Dude, if I am right, America has been on thin ice for the last several years. But if I'm right and it gets proven, you guys really did not think this through. You put little to no thought behind this, and I am terrified.
I don't think you should be terrified. I think TikTok was bought over ages ago already. They're just softening the blow by doing this really slowly and really stretching it out. It's already been sold, if you ask me. It's all part of the plan. Side note, has anybody noticed anything different about TikTok? My friend and I have noticed that, and some folks on TikTok have mentioned it too, but on other subjects. But specifically, if you type in or search for Biden or Trump, anything that's politically sensitive, nothing pops up. Not saying it's the truth, but that's what we've noticed. What have you noticed?
All the residents here in New Jersey are going to get disclosure, and it's going to come soon.
All right, that's some good news there. And that's what I wanted to ask you, Mayor. I mean, based on, what residents there are saying, what your constituents are telling you, what do you think is going on in the skies?
I mean, it's tough. Every time I see a video, my opinion seems to change. I mean, I've recently been watching and spent some time with the videographer out of Long Island. I mean, he has these glowing orbs of light on camera that as you watch them right before your eyes, they seem to transform into a mechanical drone. So I've actually watched it myself, where these orbs are glowing balls of light, different blinking lights all over the place. And as it gets closer to you, you actually see it transform into a drone. Whether it's a drone from the beginning and it's being obstructed by bright light, I can't tell you, but it is cause for concern. We have looked at flight tracker data. We don't see any airplanes in the skies. These things are absolutely some kind of phenomenon that's happening just over our homes. We need answers, and we need them quickly.
Okay, so the details surrounding these drones, orbs, it's become quite official now, and that's an official, I forget his rank. Oh, New Jersey mayor, there you go. He's basically stating, it's official, folks. It starts off coming out of the ocean as an orb, and then, like a transformer, it turns into a drone. Seriously, we're watching a sci-fi movie here. Feels like it, doesn't it? You know how I like to end off my shows with a high note. I've just discovered this content creator, and I'm so happy I have, because ever since I have discovered him, I have felt a little lighter, and you'll see why.
Are you feeling shit? If you're feeling shit, that's your body telling you that you're either depressed, or you're identifying with being depressed, bored, frustrated, sad, angry. All these feelings that you're not rich enough, you think you've got something in the way of success. This is the lie you're telling yourself. This is not you, they're not the real you. The real you is fucking alive, is soul, is connected to all things, is love, is passion, is excitement. It could be rest. Whatever it is, it's the real you. And if you're not identifying with that right now, you're identifying with being depressed or bored or angry, that is not the real you. This is the message. It's not the real you. The real you is happy and here, and it connects to what I'm saying now. And that is all you have to do. All the other stories are bullshit. Just connect to the fucking real you, man. This is it. This is the true you. I love that side of you, and you love that side of you too. The not you self, let it go. It's a sign. The depression, the anger, yes.
I just love it. Right, you'll be seeing a lot more of him. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for making it to the end with me. If you have made it to the end, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you enjoy this sort of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe and share with others. I do also make shorts from these videos. Please like, share, and subscribe those too. And pass on the message. Remember, the purpose of this channel is to ask the awkward questions and hash out all the information that's thrown at us on a daily basis. Don't believe everything you see, and most certainly don't think that it is the end. It never is. You are the creator of your own reality. You keep being real, and just remember, you are the magician of your own reality. You make it happen. You are the artist. Right, everybody? Thanks so much. Much love.